Welcome to the LiveTap podcast. I'm your host, Damian Trailer, and today I have Bella Caccamo and Walker Capelle tapping in with me. Welcome to the show, Bella and Walker.
It's nice to be here.
Nice.
Good to be back.
Hey, man. Hey, Walker's actually a second-time offender, y'all could say. So, welcome back to the show, man. Nice to have you.
Good to be back on.
Yeah, man. Everybody loved our first episode, so it's nice to have you on again. Let's talk about some sports and some mental, man. But before I start the actual interview, can you guys tell me your major, class of graduation, and what sports you guys play?
So, I'm a junior. I am a sports and fitness administration major, and my concentration is sports management. I run cross country and track and field. And what was the question?
What? Oh, no, you said your class.
Yeah, I said
Graduation?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Major, class of graduation, and what sports you play?
Yeah.
I'm Walker. I'm a graduate student here, and I'm working on my MBA right now.
NBA?
Yeah, Masters of Business Administration.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking you're talking about basketball.
I know, people always get that confused. They're like, did you say NBA? I'm like, no, I'm not tall enough to be in the
Yeah, no, you're going to the NBA.
I mean, yeah, you're scrawny, but you're maybe 6'1", 6'2"?
6 foot.
6 foot?
Yeah.
That ain't bad. They got some players in the league that's 5'9", like Isaiah Thomas, stuff like that.
Yeah, short players don't make it anymore, unfortunately.
We all did sell at Navigators. Me and Bella did some last summer, and you did it my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
What was the most exciting part about being a Navigator at SEL?
I just really looked forward to the kind of experience that it brought to me. First of all, I met a lot of people that I knew of, but I didn't know, and I kind of grew close with my coworkers. But also, I grew close with the freshmen like you, your freshman year, and a bunch of those guys like Nathan and a couple other guys. But it was just nice, especially as an upperclassman, you just kind of get to help out these freshmen and kind of take them under your wing and just show them what college is all about.
Yeah, for me, it was I knew of you when we were in SEL together, but then it was okay, now I get to know him on a more personal level because we were in a whole week's worth of training together. And then getting to know the freshmen, it was some of them still come up to me during this semester, when we don't even have to
do the job anymore.
They'll still talk to me and they'll be like, hey, I need some advice about whatever. And I'm like, oh, of course, because I just love helping people. I love being able to be there and give my advice when I can, if I know what to do and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the thing that Ms. Dyerson thought today?
Yes.
I actually reapplied as I was
I'm
setting
do
up
that
for
later.
the pod. I actually reapplied. I honestly love being a Navigator because my freshman year was such an amazing experience. I think if it wasn't for me doing SEL, I don't know if I would be here today.
Yeah, SEL was so important to me my freshman year. At first, I applied as a joke. I was like, oh no, this is not going to be how it exactly was. And I just met so many great people, and I got to be a Navigator with my roommates Allison and Kayla, and it was just a great bonding experience for us, and we're still really close and when we live together and stuff like that.
Yeah, speaking of Allison, shout out Allison, man. I heard she PR'd this, it 2 weeks ago?
She PR'd the other day and broke her own school record for the 300. So.
Yeah, shout out Allison, man. I'm not gonna lie, she be scaring me sometimes because she always
she's so good.
She always stands up.
She Terminator look on her face.
No, facts. I rarely see her smile.
She had the most determined look on her face in our 4x4 this weekend because she hates the 4x4 and I absolutely love it. And so our coaches, they were like, well, Bella wants to run the 4x4, so Allison, that means you have to as well, because she was one of the other people that were candidates for the 4x4. And Allison was like, don't make me do this, and I was like, please. And so she did it, and we did really good. So, and she's like, it wasn't that bad, but don't make me do that again.
Speaking of PR, Bella, I want to congratulate you on setting a personal best and school record in the 600-meter race with a time of 1:40 a minute. Was it minute 46 and 49 seconds?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know if that's how you say the time.
Yeah, 1:46.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you. It was fun. I like crossed the finish line and I was like, I think that was a school record. And I look at Coach and Walker and they're like, yeah, you got it. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, my question was actually gonna be how to feel the PR instead of school record in your first meet like of the season.
It was amazing because like I'm a mid distance runner, so like I run the 800 and the 400, and Coach was like, well, they have a 600 at this meet. Those are like the tricky races where it's like they don't offer them a whole lot. And so I was like, well, why don't we just try it? And I did, and it felt weird because usually I have like one more lap to go in my race, but it was a lot of fun, and it was really exciting to set the school record because I didn't think that I would do something like that the first meet of the season, but it was really exciting, and it was also like a confidence booster because it's like, it just shows like all my hard work has paid off, and Coach's training is doing exactly what it needs to be doing.
Yeah. Also, Walker, you also did one runner of the year doing cross country.
Yeah.
So I want to congratulate you on that again, brother. On video this time. Last time we were only audio. So I want to congratulate you on that too, man. Aren't you like one of the only runners for cross country at Piedmont that like actually won that award though?
First ever Piedmont runner to win that award. So yeah, that was a big accomplishment. Something nice to get off on my chest and just show everybody.
Yeah, man. Well, congratulations to both of you guys on that. You know, breaking school records and setting school records. But on to the sports questions now. How do you guys juggle the student-athlete lifestyle?
Well, I know for me it's very busy because I have a dog that lives with me on campus, and I have 3 on-campus jobs. So I work with Sale, and then I work with Danielle, the game day operations.
Shout out game day.
And then I'm also on the campus activities board, so it's a lot. And, you know, I have a planner, like, everything's planned down to the minute. But it's a lot, but it gets going. Like, once I'm, like, in a groove, I figure it out.
Yeah. Wish I could say my life was that busy right now. It honestly isn't. I just go in, like, spurts, really. I'll have, like, 3 days where I, like, am only doing homework, and then the other 3 days I really don't do much.
Or like, how about for you, like when you were like, let's say a junior like Bella, how did you like, you know, juggle student athlete lifestyle?
Really for me, like as a business major, it's not a whole lot of busy work. It's more just like time-consuming projects. We'd have big projects due in like 2 months, and then another class I'd have like if my accounting classes. I'd have a test every 2 weeks. Yeah. So like juggling, like the work, the planning, the future assessment of all my assignments was difficult, but it was definitely manageable. I'm very much like a time-oriented person, so assessing those things became kind of easy for me.
And you know that's kind of ironic that you guys talk about like planning or whatever, because my next question was actually going to be like, do you guys struggle with time management, or did you struggle with time management as like athletes or student athletes here?
I wouldn't say I really struggled with it too much, just because like even in high school I was always like very time oriented, and so it kind of just translated to college. But I mean, it is really hard when we travel because it's like we depart at like 2 p.m. one day and you don't know when you're gonna get back because of the meet, just how long it runs. Like we got back at 3 a.m. On Sunday.
On Sunday?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
We had our meet on Saturday and we left and got back at 3 a.m. so technically Sunday, and it was just a lot. And so it's like you can't do homework on the bus because sometimes the Wi-Fi is shoddy on the tour on Kelly Tour's bus, and then you don't want to do homework while you're on the bus. You want to just chill, and so it's really hard to get all my homework done before we leave. So that's like a whole timely thing I have to figure out sometimes.
Especially when there's like 50 of us crammed on a bus, most of us trying to do homework. It just turns into chaos. So I just usually result in trying to do it beforehand, or just saying screw it, I'm just gonna
take the 0.
Not a 0.
No, I'll turn it in like very last minute.
I'm pretty much like a procrastinator, but like I procrastinate and give myself enough time to get my stuff done.
Yeah. But it's really hard though when everyone's taking up the Wi-Fi. So I don't even do homework on the bus. I'll just download Netflix movies or something.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, this past week we had a Wi-Fi situation, bro. Oh my god.
That was
That was
so
not the time
hard
for the
to
Wi-Fi
turn in
to go
homework
out.
before we
Facts.
left. I was struggling so hard because I had all these assignments typed up and all I had to do was press submit. And it was like, error, please try again. I'm like, bro, I can't even turn it in.
Bro, I had to use my hotspot to turn in an assignment.
That's what I was doing.
Like, it was bad.
Yeah, I was in the middle of a research assignment, so like I just got over the flu and I was like, okay, today I'm gonna be productive. I'm gonna go get some homework done. Couldn't even go online and get research done for my project. Every time I click Google, error, crash, like Wi-Fi
it was
down.
crashing too, like, and it's crazy too because when it crashed the first time, I was on the game with my friends and like we were all playing like NCAA and it literally just crashed. I was like, bro, what happened? It's crazy. It was crazy, bro. But my next question is, what made y'all fall in love with cross country and running track and field?
Well, I hated cross country at the start. I started out as a sprinter, and I didn't do cross country till my sophomore year. And it was a very tough transition. Like, doing sprints my freshman year, I felt like pretty good about it, and then me and coach had a conversation, you know, maybe we could do more. And I was like, there's no way. And so then I would talk to Walker about it just because he's done cross country longer than me. And it was like, you know, maybe I could do this. Maybe this is something I'd be good at. And it was a lot of trial and error the first season, so I really hated it.
Yeah.
And it was not fun or enjoyable. But, I mean, now, like, being in the training for long enough, it's, like, something I really enjoy now.
For me, I mean, like I talked last time we were on the podcast, it was kind of a interesting aspect for me because I chose to like start running so late in high school.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do team sports my entire like high school year until junior year. And so I just kind of like felt I was almost like I found a way to go to college, which I wasn't even remotely considering. I was going to go join the military and I was going to go off to boot camp, and last minute my coach was like, yeah, you know, you're fast enough, you can go run in college. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And I came here, and then just the program and the seniors and the people that I looked up to when I first came in here just helped me settle in and just find love for a sport that I was passionate about at a late stage in my career. So, I mean, just kind of, you know, how everything has gone in my life. It's just, you know, I'll give this a shot, and then it either goes really well or it goes really awful. And
in this case, it went really well. That runner of the year.
It worked out really well. So, I mean, I really can't complain.
I mean, same here. I like the seniors that or they were juniors at the time when I joined. It was like instant connections. Like, I instantly looked up to them, and they were just people that really helped guide me through college. And like, I was in a similar situation. Like, I didn't even consider college or even running in college. I was going to go to some tech school and just work and do whatever. I don't even know what my plan was. And then one spring break of senior year, I like texted my mom. I'm sitting on the beach and I'm like, Mom, I think I want to go to college. And she was like, okay, like, we'll figure it out. And then I talked to Coach Rommel and Coach Jemison and toured here, and it was like, I just really enjoyed being here, and the people that were there for me, my first steps here, it was just amazing.
No, I mean, that's pretty good stories.
Yeah.
But my next question for you guys is, what makes track and field and cross country unique from other sports? Because, like, the endurance you guys have to have, and, you know, the willpower, I could say, and probably mentality to be able to run for that long. It's different from other sports, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'll say the biggest thing is the training. See a lot of other sports. I'd probably say the only one close to us would probably be golf or maybe swim. But training-wise, we don't stop. We get a week off in between each season. So after cross country was over, I didn't run for a week, and then training started right back up for track.
Yeah, we had like just a little bit of a week to just chill. It was like cross country's over, week to chill, and then right into track training.
A week is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're technically in season all year round. And, I mean, summer, we don't stop training. Coach sends us summer miles to do and stuff.
Yeah, so it's really like you get 2 weeks off the entire year unless you're sick or injured or something bad happens, but other than that, you're always grinding, you're always pushing and working harder, and there's really no easy days, because on some easy days when we have recovery miles where after workout, but it's not easy because we just ran a workout, so we're tired.
You're being sore, in pain, or you just don't want to do it, but it's recovery miles.
I'll be seeing y'all running around campus. How do y'all, because our campus is, if anybody knows the Demarest or North Georgia, we have nothing but hills here. Y'all are running up hills. I know that's killing you guys' tendons and stuff.
Yeah, it takes a lot of maintenance, a lot of work in the training room, and just like...
I mean, over time, you kind of just get used to it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to avoid the hills, but it's not very easy.
Yeah, fast. They're literally everywhere.
Yeah.
There's so many.
You literally have to go
up
a hill to get here. Sort of. Well, my next question for you guys is, how is track and field difficult? I mean, not difficult, different from cross country, and if so, how are they similar?
Well, for me, it's entirely different because for a women's race, it's 6K.
Yeah.
And then for me, the farthest I'll go is half a mile because I'm mid-distance. And so it's like my training miles, they'll drop just a little bit, or they'll stay consistent with what I've been doing during cross country. And I mean, for me, I focus more on speed work and like power than anything. And then cross country, it's more focusing on endurance for me.
Okay.
And so it's just very different in that aspect. And then also cross country is just more mentally exhausting for me than track is, just because track was there before cross country was for me. So I don't really think about my races too much when it comes to track, but cross country is very mentally driven for me. It's so difficult.
I can only imagine.
I mean, I would say, like, for me, I'm a 5K, 10K, sometimes the mile or 15. I'd say they're kind of similar, just because I'm out there running for so long. It really kind of blends in for me. But I'll say track is different because it's all about strategy and speed. I may not have like the footwork to go race somebody in a 400, but I have the footwork to out-endurance somebody on a track and just sit there and run for as long as I can for 26 laps on a track and just kill people. And cross country is totally different because I really don't think it's about like how fast you are. I think it's about your guts.
How long you can go.
Yeah.
I think it's about how hard you can push your body, because cross country, not only are you running in awful conditions, because later in the season it's either cold or you get the rainy weather, and then early in the season it's hot and dry, or it's hot and humid, depending where we're running. And then on top of that, you have hills, and the courses vary. Not all courses are on grass, not all courses are gravel, and not all courses are flat. So you never know what you're getting yourself into, and it's all about, okay, I know what I'm capable of, and I know that I can push this much. How much am I willing to put my body on the line and make everybody else suffer with me and make them not want to come with me? And I enjoy cross country more because I like...
You're making it sound like a do or die situation.
I mean, sometimes it is, because there are some courses where it's like, we were trudging through mud. Like,
mud?
We were in like at least ankle deep mud at one point. Yeah. It was just like all over our backs.
Running?
Yeah,
yes,
running,
we were running through mud.
It was the week of the hurricane. It
Yeah.
hit one of the courses we went to, and it was a horse farm. And it's normally supposed to be a pretty fast course, but there was mud for at least half the race.
And it
Like
wasn't just mud, it was horse manure too.
Yeah, it was like
it smelled so
horse
bad.
crap. I about vomited a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
There's some races though, like where the hills are just so big that like it's all a mental game. It's like, do you really want to push yourself that hard to go for it?
Yeah.
Dog, bro. Who picks these venues?
I wouldn't pick them.
I don't know. I don't know why some people choose those. It's like, this is a great place to send 300 runners traipsing through the mud and horse crap everywhere. I mean...
No, there was my sophomore year conference. We went to Tallulah Falls, and that course was so bad. It was just hill after hill after hill. It was like, okay, you had a downhill start, and then it was rolling hills up. And then you had this, like, huge climb up this one hill, and then it was flat for a minute, and then you had to do it again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, once you thought you were out of the hills, you had a baby hill and then an even bigger hill.
Yeah, it was so bad.
So they were just waiting on y'all.
Yeah. That's why I like cross country, because those types of courses and those type of things, when you can tell, like, your opponents are, like, down and out, because, gosh, we have to go up a hill. That's where my brain just flips and is like, okay, you're thinking negatively, but I'm thinking positively.
Yeah,
like,
you're just going to charge up the hill.
I'm gonna own you on this hill, and I'm going to take advantage. And yeah, especially in those moments, like, I wasn't necessarily, like, my potential hadn't been reached yet on the team that year, and so I had a lot to prove to the conference and myself. So I told myself, these top dogs think that they're gonna come walk in on our home course, and I'm gonna go prove them all wrong, and I did. Yeah. So I mean,
facts, you did, brother.
That's why it just kind of like brings another joy to me, because, you know, I may not be on my A game, or I may not be the best that year, but I know any given race that, like, I always put my race on the line to give us a chance to win and go do something great.
And shout out y'all, because, boy, like me, even when I was an athlete, I hated, like, going to run and stuff, because our coach used to make us do conditioning before the season.
Yeah.
I used to hate running the tracks, bro. But my next question is for you guys, what made y'all come to Piedmont to run track or cross country? Or both, because y'all both do.
Definitely, like, our coaches, they just, like, have such a great program, and when I toured here, it was, like, the people I met, and it was really, I came here just for running.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, like, when I was here more, then I just fell more in love with the school, and I enjoyed being here, and I met so many great people. But, like, my first initial thought was, like, you know, this is one of the couple places that, like, I could run for, and I didn't want to stop because I just started running my freshman year of high school, and I felt like there was more potential that I could reach and more that I could do with myself, and I didn't want to quit yet.
Yeah, for me, I think I mentioned this on the podcast last time, but my family lives nearby, so this area is really familiar with me, so that was a huge thing. I never would have thought that I would have lived so close to family and so close to home, but I don't know, I've always liked this area, and that was a huge draw. And then when I came on my tour here, I can't really explain how or why, but I just knew once I stepped foot on campus, I really enjoyed the way Jimson talked to us, and I could see the way he coached, and I looked at the athletes that were there, and they just looked motivated and bought in, and that was my thing. I didn't want to go to some program where, you know, a bunch of people are like, we run for fun and blah blah blah. Like, I don't want to be with a bunch of nerds that are out here wanting to run a 5K. I wanted to be with people that enjoyed themselves and were committed to something. And because I got offers from schools like that where they're like, you could be our number one or our top guy, and I was like, yeah, but what does the rest of your team look like?
Yeah. It's also just like the coaches here, they really care. It's very individualized, our training plans, and coach is always there to check on you and be like, hey, what's going on today? Like, how are you feeling from our workout? Or how are you feeling with your race? And he's just always there to, like, check in with us and make sure we're, like, on the same wavelength.
Yeah, he's definitely other than just the familiarity and the culture of the team that I witnessed, Jimison and Ramel and Coach Gahn were just things that I just bought into. The way I could just tell they were all about business, but they're also all about caring about our future, which is huge for me, because I wasn't sure about college in the first place, but I knew that they cared about my future, so they were going to help me no matter what.
Yeah, now I know you guys talk about the good parts of, you know, being an athlete here, but we do have some sour parts, you could say sour patches in the road. I remember last time you were on the pod, you talked about, like, the difficulties of you guys having, like, a lack of resources.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Lack
this ain't
of facilities.
Yeah, this ain't no shade to Piedmont now, but I want to say the women's lacrosse team or the softball team just got a new locker room built.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Not new. They like revamped their locker room. I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I know, it's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice.
It looks very
I saw
nice.
that little hype video they made, and I was like,
I mean, well deserved. I'm sure that's.
Yeah, all of our sports here in Piedmont, like, all
They do their
deserve what
part.
they have.
Yeah, for sure.
But it'd be nice if we had a little something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even the swim team. I guess the swim team kind of knows what we go through because they don't have a pool.
Yeah, because they have to go to the aquatic center.
Or when the aquatic center actually had an issue with their pool.
Oh yeah, they went to Tallulah, right?
Yeah, the aquatic center had like a chemical imbalance in their pool, so the swim team had to travel to Tallulah. Well, I think it was last year, which is like 20-30 minutes away for practice every day.
And our sprinters are currently going through the same thing because the Haversham High School track that we normally practice at, they are resurfacing their turf. And so the track is closed down, and so they have to go to Tallulah or Toccoa to practice on a track.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, can y'all kind of give me y'all input about the lack of resources your sport specifically gets, and like how it kind of affects you guys?
I mean, not
if
having
it
a
does.
track sucks because when we do have track workouts, and mainly for the sprinters and the throwers, because like the throwing facility is also at Haversham. We don't have anything like that here. And so it's like you have to drive. I mean, it's only a 5-minute drive, but that, and then you have to get everyone to the place and get everyone going, and so it just takes up a lot of time. And it would just be nice if like there was a track here, like be like, okay, everyone meet at the track at like 3 o'clock, whatever. And also just like it would be cool if we had an indoor track, because then we'd have like a place to host meets and stuff, because then we'd be the only indoor track in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, there's no tracks. The closest indoor facility is 3 hours in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And that's like a state-of-the-art facility where they host Olympic-level events.
Yeah.
Olympic?
Yeah, like Noah Lyles has run on that track before. All the top Americans perform there. They hold D1 indoor nationals there almost every year. So
they're really high.
It's a great facility.
Yeah, it's really nice that we get to go there for our opening meet, because it's just so nice on the inside, and I enjoy running there a lot.
Yeah. But the lack of resources and facilities, I mean, I personally just don't understand. Since I've been here, nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is our budget, and no shade against anybody else, but we have the biggest team on campus, so I just feel like our budget should be a little bit bigger than everybody else's, because we house 3 different departments for track, plus we run cross country in the fall, and we have about 60 athletes.
60?
I'm closer to 70.
What?
There's 66.
Yeah, we haven't had any dropout this year.
What, you mean for like track and field?
Yeah.
Yes, for track and field we have close to 70 people.
So, I mean,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And especially since we don't have our own facility, we're paying for meet entries and facility entries when we go and compete. So
meet entries can kind of be expensive sometimes.
depending on the meet, it's either a flat rate or a fixed rate. So
yeah, it could be like per team or per person.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
And depending on the size of your team, it can be more. I know.
Yeah.
One of the meets that we go to, it's about $3,000 just for our team to compete.
Yeah.
So
That's excluding any other cost
Hotel
that
fees.
that's just for us physically to get our numbers and
yeah, that's for
and
bib
compete.
numbers and to just race, and then you have to add in hotel costs.
And
I mean,
food.
like this year, all the sports are required to do 4 people to a room.
Yeah.
And so that kind of helps a little bit, but just, hotel costs and then getting food and traveling on a bus. And so we take a bus and a van.
Because there's not enough room.
Yeah, there's not enough room for all of us to be there. So all the throwers go on the van, and then whoever's left goes on the bus.
Well, that's a history lesson today on Piedmont Athletics. I'll try. My next question is, with you guys being a couple that both do sports, can you tell me what's easy and the most difficult about being a couple that are both athletes here?
I think the hardest part The hardest.
Getting me to answer questions I probably shouldn't answer on here, but that's okay.
The hardest part, I think, is being a couple on the same event group.
Yeah.
Because when we first started dating, I was a sprinter, so it wasn't like, oh, I'll see you at practice, and then I'll see you here, I'll see you there. And it's also a little more difficult just because, like, if there's something going on, like, inside the event group, you know, it's hard to...
Yeah.
It's hard not to defend the other, like, from a boyfriend or girlfriend standpoint.
Especially
You have to make sure you are being a teammate first when we're at practice.
It's hard for me. I mean, I always get... I told you this last time, especially when you were at... I think we were talking about, like, my, like, leadership or my experience or whatever. And people not, like, respecting what I... like my input, which
I remember asking you that question.
Yeah, for that, it's just like, I mean, one, she's my girlfriend, so that's hard for me to like put to the side when we're dealing with the team because there's certain situations where people don't handle at like literally well at all, and you know, it's like just sitting there. I just have to be like, okay, I cannot afford to be rash and make a stupid decision right now, or. You know, like there's some points where like I can't even stand up for her or get involved because it just turned people on the team.
People will automatically assume, oh, you're just saying that because you're her boyfriend. That's all people conclude to.
And they just try and pit us against each other, which never works. But
yeah, no.
That just makes me more angry, and that just makes it worse for everybody else.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating. So, I mean, other than that, though, I wouldn't say it's too hard. I mean, we both set aside time, like, for each other outside of, you know, athletics. Like, of course, we see each other at practice, and that's great, but, you know, we don't spend time together at practice because he goes off and runs 13 miles while I'll be running, like, 7.
Yeah.
And,
13 miles.
But there are some days when... like, we have double miles, so, like, we'll have a morning run and an afternoon run. So he'll run his shakeout with me at my pace, my little slow pace.
Yeah. Helps break it up, but...
Yeah, it keeps me motivated, and it also gives us time to hang out and talk.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot of bad, but there's also, like... I mean, there's definitely positives, because now I feel like... just being busy with her working and then me focusing on my master's, it's like on the weekends, it's not like, oh, I'm going away for the weekend to a meet, I'll see you when I get back. It's, oh, you know, we're here together, and whether we're, you know, cheering each other on or the team on, you know, it's just like...
We do it together.
We're doing it together, and it's just not... It doesn't bother me, and... You know, we're also not that couple that's, like, clingy and, like, we're going to go do everything together.
Oh, my gosh.
Whatever.
Yeah, no.
There's people
there's
people like that have been on the team before that are like that.
Yeah,
you know?
that's why it was a little difficult at first, because I didn't want people to portray us that way, where, like, we always had to be together, we always had to be doing something together. And so it was just hard at first because a lot of people did assume that. They're like, oh, well, like... A lot of people assumed that I wanted to do cross country just because he's on the cross country team. And in reality, it was just like I was almost hesitant not to, just for the sole reason that we are dating. And
I was actually against her doing cross country because of that.
Yeah. And then it was just down to the point where it's like I needed to do what Jemison thought would be best for me and what I thought would be best for me. And obviously it's paid off, you know, like running the 800 is my favorite event of all time, and cross country is slowly growing on me, so.
Yeah, lots of ups and downs being a couple on the team, especially year round with almost the same people.
And sometimes it's hard just because, like, I enjoy hanging out with, like, the cross country guys, and so sometimes I gotta make sure I'm like, okay, I gotta hang out with my team too. And, you know, but I always want to make sure, like, I'm cheering on everyone. And some people are like, oh, well, you're only cheering on the boys' team because your boyfriend's on the team. And I'm like, no, it's because I got friends on the boys' team.
Yeah, people, man.
You wouldn't suspect it, but, you know, we're all adults here at college, and some people still find a way to think they're in high school and middle school.
No facts. But on to the next question. What do you guys individually or team, or you know what? Scratch that. What individually or team oriented do you want to accomplish this year or improve that wasn't accomplished last year?
Well, this year, this school year cross country, I definitely performed better than my sophomore year.
Yeah.
By a significant amount. So that's like something that I've already accomplished, and then I am currently trying to go for the 800 school record, either indoor or outdoor. It's something that I've set my mind on, and so hopefully I will achieve it. And then team-oriented, I just want to win conference.
Yeah.
That would be really, really good thing for us, because last year we didn't have the greatest luck. So it would be nice to come back and win.
I mean, for us, the guys' side has been so dominant in track and field since even before I got here, which is a testament to the program, because, I mean, it's not hard to do when some of these teams, we're one of the few teams that's well-rounded in every aspect. We're very, top-heavy in almost every event.
Yeah.
But every year there's a team that's almost better than us, or if not better than us in a certain event group.
Gives y'all run for y'all money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Like for track conference, it was Berea for the girls. It was just, they had more numbers than us. Like we all performed exactly how we should have, and it just wasn't enough because of how many people they had on their team.
Yeah, because Berea can offer, it's not a scholarship, they can offer tuition because the way their school is set up. Yeah, to help people that can't afford school. So that's a really was a big struggle especially for the girls.
Yeah.
But for the guys,
they had like 10 people in just one race at one point.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that,
and it was
that shouldn't be possible.
It was versus just
unfortunately.
me and my teammate Tania. It was me and her running the 800, and then five or six of them in the same race as us. And I'm like, well, no matter what we place, they're gonna get more points than us.
Yeah, and that's another topic too. The CCS and their weird rules for us. I don't understand it, but for the guys, it's hard because they have football. A lot of these other teams have football teams. So
I peeped that.
So they can, you don't have to do off-season conditioning if you come do track and field. And just get their offensive linemen to throw shot put, hammer, weight, javelin, do whatever they want. And so you have these big, naturally strong guys, just absurd amount of talent in the throwing department. And it can make it challenging, but I would say for the guys, the team goal is to repeat and just continue our dominance, just show everybody that Berea may have left, but this is still our conference, and that doesn't mean anything. But for me personally, not really chasing any records. I mean, they're nice when they come to you. They're very I could very easily obtain them this year, but for me, I just want to focus on. That's not to be. Sorry, that's not to be cocky. That's
confidence.
It's confidence, and it's just. I mean, I've been doing this for 5 years. It was bound to happen. I've progressed finally. So, I mean, those records were never great to begin with. None of them. The 10K record's not very great. The 5K record is probably going to be the biggest mountain to climb for me. And then. Definitely not breaking the 1500 record. That's all Gary's right there.
Yeah.
I'm not fast enough for that, but those two, I mean, I'm sure they'll happen at some point in the season, but for me, my mentality is just I want to keep my nose to the grindstone and just keep chipping away, and really just I want to win conference in all 3 events, 1500, 5K, 10K, and then put myself in a shot for nationals in the 10K. I feel like I have a good shot to do that this year, so that's just really it for me. The school records come and go, but my hard work never leaves me, and that's what I want to be remembered for here. So,
well, man, I hope y'all do reach y'all goals individually and team oriented wise. But this is my last question on the sports side. You both were awarded high honors being on all CCS team. Walker, you for cross country, Bella, you for track and field. What does it mean to know that the work you put in is noticed receiving awards like these?
It just shows, like, for me, it's like when I'm working so hard in like academic and running wise, it's just nice to be recognized, because then it's like, oh, my hard work is paying off.
Yeah.
And like, of course, like, my performance shows that hard work, and like being recognized for it, it's like, okay, like it's paying off, and like it makes me want to do more and strive for more.
I mean, for me, you can ask anybody. I don't really like being recognized. I mean, I see the purpose in it. You know, they want to give applause and all that for the things I do. But I mean, for me, I just want to keep pushing. I just want to get better. And you know, for me, it's more of like a stepping stone. Like, okay, I made this mark and this accomplishment. Like, what's next? Like, this isn't enough for me. And so that's just kind of my mentality with it. But you know, I know the school's got to get their pictures and their interview and all that stuff, so I appreciate that, because, you know, it is nice to at least, like, for at least the school to tell people about what I've done. That I appreciate.
To look back on, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, because I know it's hard being at a Division III school. You know, sometimes you just don't feel like you're being rewarded or, like, recognized for your hard work.
Yeah. Especially at a small school here at Piedmont.
Yeah. People automatically assume, like, oh, you're D3, like, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how, like, the team sports, how hard it is, like, being recognized here. Because at least track and field and cross country, you know, if we win conference or not, that's great. But, like, you know, baseball, they've got the really stud pitchers, and then basketball, Andelin's a freaking monster.
I'm having her on next week, actually.
Yeah,
really?
and then basketball last year had Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have like those individual accomplishments, and it's not that I feel bad, but like at the level that we are, it does, like, being on a team sport like that, I would feel like it would add a different element to being recognized.
Yeah.
Does mean more, because, you know, you definitely at this level, you've got your stars and then your role players, and recognition is always great.
Yeah, it also gives you like a boost of confidence, like, I'm doing great.
Yeah. Well, on to the mental side questions now. My first question is, do y'all feel like mental health is important in the sports world, and why?
It's so important, because, I mean, especially like just sports in general and cross country and track, running, half of it is mental.
Yeah.
Because if you give up mentally in a race, it doesn't matter how much strength or how much power you have or how much speed you have, like, you're not going to perform as well if you're not in it mentally. And, like, I know for me, cross country is all mental for me, just because, like to push myself that hard and for that long has never been something I've done. I've only pushed myself for a lap around the track or 2 laps.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, okay, I got to push myself for almost 4 miles. And so it's just like, if I'm not mentally ready or mentally there, I can't do it. And so it's just so important for me, like, before a race, to, like, get myself mentally ready, like little affirmations, you know, like,
Yeah.
I can do this, like, I'm strong, I'm fast, I can do it, stuff like that.
Mental health is so important. Just, you know, if your head's not right, you're not performing. Doesn't matter how talented you are or how untalented you are. You're just not going to be able to perform well. So I think taking care of yourself is an absolute must. Making sure your headspace is in the right space going into not even just the game, but practice. Every day of practice, you got to go out with that right mentality, and I just think that's absolutely important, especially in running. Because, you know, if you sit there and say, gosh, today sucks, I don't want to be here, or this workout is horrendous, this really hurts, I don't want to be here. I mean, how do you think you're going to act and perform when you got a race to go out and do? I mean, you got to sit there and say, yeah, this sucks, but I want to get better, or this sucks because I'm going to get better. And I just feel like mental health is as tricky as it may be, I think the biggest key is just always stay positive. As long as you're positive, I feel like you can put yourself in a position to be your best, and that's all that really matters when you're an athlete. You can't be upset at yourself if you're giving the best that you've got, and I know I've been there when you don't perform well, and that's not a good feeling.
Yeah. Like this weekend, I had to drop the 1K because we had a rolling schedule, and so I didn't get to eat like the way I wanted to, and so I was like on the second lap of my race, and I was like, well, this is not feeling great. I feel like I'm gonna throw up, and I started like, it was like blurry vision. I was like, I have to drop out. Yeah. So I did, and I like beat myself up for like an hour. I was like, this sucks. Like, I should have kept running, and I'm like, well, I can't do that because I'm not taking care of myself. And so self-care is like also part of mental health. Like, if you're not taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself, like, what are you gonna do? Because you can have all the strength and all of like the agility or whatever, but like if you don't take care of yourself, it's not gonna pan out the way you want to. And so you just have to keep taking care of yourself. And like, I know during cross country, I love my teammates and I love warming up with them and hanging out with them, but sometimes I gotta step away for a minute and like get into the right headspace before a race, because I can't get myself excited. Like, some people, they listen to like headbanging music and get like all this adrenaline pumping through their body, and for me, I get so nervous that I have to like calm down before a race. And so it's just doing whatever's best for you to help you perform the best way you can.
No, I mean, that's real. I mean, on both of you guys' parts, like, that's actually, real. Which is why I want to start podcasts like this, because like I wanted to bring awareness to the mental side of being an athlete, and you guys kind of perfectly painted the picture. So appreciate y'all for that. My next question is, has there been a moment, well, you guys kind of already answered this, but has there been a moment throughout your sports career where your mental health was affected by your sport? Even if it was like something outside of your sport that like affected you while you were on a track or on the course, how did it affect you?
I know for me, last track season, I just started running the 800, and I had a whole month of constant PRs. Like, I was PRing left and right, like every single meet. And then there was just this 1 month where it was absolutely nothing. Like, I was not running as fast, and it was so weird for me, because I was like, why am I not getting faster? And it wasn't coach's training, because I would sit there and talk to him for like an hour before practice some days, and I'd be like, why am I not getting faster? Like, why am I not like PRing more? And he was like, well, like, you need to think about it. Like, you're like, in this part of the season, I don't want you to peak. I want you to just stay like at a constant rate right now. Like, I don't want you to gas yourself out, and then come conference time, you can't run what you used to run in the middle of the season. And so I just like beat myself up for like that whole entire month. I was like, I'm not fast enough. Like, I guess that was it. Like, I'm not gonna get any faster. And so it was just really hard. And there were some days where I like would be really upset, and I'd talk to him, and I'd be like, listen, I don't think cross country's for me anymore. And like, of course, he was very encouraging, like told me to give it time, and like, it's going to be okay. And then our meet before conference, I had like the biggest PR I've ever had, and it was just a huge confidence booster, and it kind of gave me a little boost of like, okay, I didn't really need to be that upset. Like, I just have to trust the timing. I have to be patient.
Yeah, I mean, I've hit walls before, and talked about this last time we were here, when I went through the not even the mental health, but like the physical health issues, and then recovering from that was a big challenge for me. But I would say, I mean, I just try and push through it. There have been plenty of instances, like just little things here and there, where I get in my head, and early in the season we're not supposed to really be running great, and for me, I'm just so competitive. I'm just like, well, I want to be running fast right now, and I want everybody to be scared for April. Like,
Bro.
I mean, that's,
you with this gladiator mentality.
that's just how I am, though.
Be
Like,
scared.
you ask everybody, like, I mean, I told everybody at cross country after I won, I said, yeah, I may have won, but, you know, there's still more coming for track, so I don't think it's easy. And that's just how I am. I just want to prepare for war. I mean, that's how it is. I want to go out, win a championship, do my best as I can all season. And, you know, I get little spurts where, like I said, you're not running fast and you're like, you know, dang it, I didn't run as great as I wanted to. But you just got to keep reminding yourself that, you know, you're not going to feel great all the time. You're always working, especially early in the season, so you're not going to be running great. And then it's just kind of that human error, you know. As a human being, you just want to be good, and no matter what you're doing. And especially at track, where it's such a like multi-layered season, and it's so many things compiled onto one. It's not just running, and it's not just your training and speed work, and it's all these different aspects. And you just have to like constantly remind yourself, like, you're the best version of you right now. And as long as you're giving it your all, you're capable of anything. And that's all. And even if you don't PR, or even if you know, don't run what you want to do, you need to just be happy that, you know, I'm out here competing for a school. I'm out here traveling with my friends. I'm out here doing something I love. And, you know, you just got to keep reminding yourself that. And the minute you let that go is the minute that you fall into that trap. And that's why I always say, like, gotta be ready for war. Because if you're not ready for war, you're not ready. You can't handle what it takes.
It's also just good to like remind yourself, like what Walker said, like being like reminding yourself of what you're blessed to have, like blessed with the opportunities you have, and just keep the positivity going.
I mean, that's what's up for sure. My fourth question is, what makes having confidence an important factor being an athlete?
If you don't have confidence, I feel like it plays into your mental health. Like you should be confident in yourself. Like if you're not going out there confident, then what else are you thinking? Like if you think, oh, I'm gonna run terrible today, like that's not confidence. But if you're out there like thinking, oh, I'm gonna run so great today, and you have that positive mentality, it goes such a long way, and it really helps boost like your adrenaline too. Like I know I've been mid-race where I'm like, man, this really sucks. and but then I'm like, you know, I'm confident I can run really fast. Like, I'm confident I can do this. And it just gives you some kind of boost. I don't even know how to explain it. It just helps so much.
It also helps with the crash, too. Like, after a race, if you didn't perform what you were hoping to, you know, it's like, well, dang, I still gave it my all. And just keeping that confidence up is key. But we have a guy on the team, Peter. His moment she said this is what I instantly thought of. Yeah. Yeah. For those that don't, he's the cameraman at game day. He's the curly blonde-haired dude with glasses with
shout out my dog.
The knee-high socks. And
you need to see that too.
The big Adam Sandler pants.
Me and Grant were broadcasting. And he wore some crazy socks. I was like,
oh yeah.
I didn't say nothing, but I'm like, yo, that's kind of.
His shorts and socks game is crazy.
Yeah, he's got connection. His uncle like works for ASICS and gives him all this like weird stuff. So he just wears it because he gets it, but.
I mean, it's free stuff. Why not?
No facts.
But no, we always get on to him, and Peter started as a really good runner for us, and he had a really bad off season and got hurt and gained a lot of weight and got really slow because he just wasn't running. Well, it's been a slow grind for him to like get back to where he was, and this past year and a half, we always get on to him because. You know, we see him at practice and he won't run with us. And we're like, well, you don't want to get better? Like, you don't want to come hang out with us? You don't have to, like, run with us the whole time, but you can come hang out with us and, like, get some laps in or whatever. And he's like, no, I suck. And then we go to a race and we're like, okay, Peter, you ready? He goes, oh, I'm about to run like shit anyway, so it doesn't matter. And right before a race, and we're just like, well, that attitude, you're not going to do anything good.
Yeah. Bad attitudes go such a long way. It's like, if you sit there and be like, well, I'm going to run slow. You're going to run slow. It's just given at that point.
But I mean, he's not like that anymore. He just kind of accepted his fate. He's like, this is my last year. I'm I'm just gonna go out
He
there
just
and
has
have
fun with it now.
Yeah.
So, which is good to see, but for a long time, he was that guy. I'm gonna run terrible. And it was just, we're like, okay, and then every day, and Peter would go off, and he's like, "What? You guys aren't gonna ask if I'll run with you?" And I go, "Cause we already know the answer."
Yeah. And shout out my dog Peter though, man.
Yeah.
My last question on the mental side though, do you guys think the sport of cross country or track and field has helped shape or grow you as a person?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. In many ways, not only like it's really helped me develop like a headspace to be confident and know and just be ready to go out and be successful in the real world. I've learned a lot of key attributes from this, but I'd say the biggest thing is just all the stuff I've learned from not running, being a part of the team, and being a leader, and just compete and just going out and competing. I mean, it's just really shaped who I am because my freshman year, well, gosh, nobody's here from when I was here, so that's crazy. I would say ask people, but if you would go back and ask people last year, my senior year, how I was my freshman year, I was very just kind of reckless, just kind of put myself out there a lot, which I still do, but I was just very reckless and very just wild. There was just like no, I had no boundaries, nothing that like contained me. I just did whatever. But now, I would say because of running and just everything that I've learned, I've learned to contain that and obviously be safe. But I've just learned to like isolate and channel those different aspects of myself into different ways. And so, because I was very quick to my words, still am, but a lot better. But I say what's on my mind, and I just learned to just be more respectful and more thoughtful and more just well tuned to the world, I would say, than instead of just like doing whatever. I would say it was more like an uncontrolled chaos when I first got here, and now it's like
controlled a little bit.
Yeah, all the chaos is in one bubble with a hole sticking out of it, and then the channel opens and closes when it needs to. So weird way of describing it, but I mean, you ask Bella. There's moments where that channel cannot be controlled and
stays open a little too long.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
For me, cross country is just and track, but more cross country for me is like it taught me how to be patient, and it got me more mentally tough, I would say, just because my first season was horrendous.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. I was so it was something brand new, so I didn't know what to expect, what to think, what to do. And I mean, thankfully I had Walker by my side to help me through it because it was just so tough. And in races, it was like I couldn't stop. I couldn't finish a race without stopping, to puke because I was so nervous. Yeah, it was and it was just a lot of trial and error because at first it was nerves, and I would sit with coach for an hour and be like, hey, I don't know what it is. I tried doing this before a race, I tried doing that before a race, and then it was the nutrition and just being more nutritiously cautious because I love my sweets.
That's real.
And I have realized, I gotta cut back on them the day before a race and not eat a pancake with chocolate chips the morning of a race.
Chocolate chips, that
I
does
know.
sound good.
It sounds so good, but I can't do that because it doesn't work. And, just being mentally tough because there were some races, like my first conference races in cross country, it was so hard because it was extremely hot, extremely hilly, and I was not in that right state of mind. Every time I stopped to throw up, it was, okay, should I just quit? And I genuinely thought about it after, when I had a mile left. I saw my mom recording me on the side, and she's like, you got this. And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And she was like, no, you've got to keep going. And I'm like, no, Mom, I hate this. But I kept going, obviously, and I'm here where I am. And I absolutely love it now, but it just taught me to be patient, especially in track when I hit that wall.
Yeah.
It was so hard. And then just being positive. I mean, I'm always a positive person, but just positive when I'm running is the hard part. But yeah.
Well, those are very interesting stories. On to the burner questions now. These are like funny little quick questions. My first question is, did you guys have any offers or any like interest from any other schools outside of Piedmont?
Yeah, I had a couple. Let's see. I did look at, Reinhardt and a couple other places closer to home, but it just didn't really feel like right. And then I also felt like, oh, maybe I should go down to Florida, like not Florida State.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
No, not that fast. But no, just like some colleges like in Florida that were near my family, so I can move back because I grew up in Florida. So, but no, Piedmont was the one I chose just because the great program and the people. So.
Yeah.
I had a couple offers. A big one from Oglethorpe, and then another pretty big one from Reinhardt, and then I think it was Valdosta State.
Yeah.
I was looking into. So I almost had a chance to go run D2. Thank goodness that didn't happen, because that was a whole predicament when I first started running. I wanted to go there, but only a couple schools. Nothing too big, but yeah.
My next question is, say y'all coming back from a long road trip and Coach Jemison say y'all got sprints when y'all get back, but don't give y'all a reason as of why. What or who you think may be the reason for y'all having to run sprints when y'all get back?
Oh my gosh.
Wow, they really going back. They thinking for real.
My first mind, it's either Peter,
yeah, I would say
Jaden,
Peter,
or I'm trying to
honestly,
think of somebody on the sprint side.
I would definitely say Peter because he's always stirring something up with Coach. I'm trying to think of any girls.
No, they all left last year, all the ones.
I mean, I would say myself,
We have a
because
lot of
sometimes I
freshmen,
annoy
so
Coach.
I don't know. I'd probably say Peter or Jaden.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's about right.
Jaden's for sure.
Jaden's and Peter are the biggest instigators on the team, so I mean, they're always doing something to make Coach upset, or Peter says something that he shouldn't.
It'll be like Peter says something extremely off guard, and Coach goes, "Peter, what the heck?" And Peter's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Coach." Or sometimes he doesn't even say sorry.
Peter never apologizes. He
just
laughs.
Doesn't.
He just
He
laughs.
be laughing?
Yes, he'll laugh.
Nah, Peter a troll.
Yeah, he is. He'll say, well, Coach brings his kids to practice a lot, and so
sometimes he'll accidentally cuss in front of them.
I don't think it's an accident,
Peter,
but
bro.
Okay, but there were a few times where it was an accident, and I looked at Peter and I was like, "Peter, you know his kids are right there, right?" And he goes, "Oh shoot." And
there's one time he said something. We're having a conversation, and his kids were nearby, and we're like, "Peter, you can't be talking about this," or whatever. And he goes, "Why? I don't care." Blah, 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 blah. And just kept went on about it.
Yeah.
Around the kids, it's crazy.
Around the kids, I was like, "Yeah, it's crazy."
And then for Jaden, he's just always instigating. He eggs on to Coach a lot, and I mean, he just does it to everyone though. It's so funny. Yeah. And I mean, this weekend, he made me think I forgot our PR brick at the facility. We got onto the bus, and I forgot that I gave it to him, to take back. And he's like, "You got the brick, right?" I was like, "No." And he really sent me into fight or flight mode. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do?" I was so close to texting Coach Jemison "Hey, how far are we away? Because we left something really valuable."
Yeah. That thing is very valuable.
Yeah, I know. That's why I freaked out.
The brick?
Yeah, what makes the brick so valuable?
So, we started, one, it's emotionally valuable because Me, David, Jaden, and Gary started it last year.
Anytime someone gets a PR, you get a brick flick.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, we put that on our Instagram. But so with the brick, me, Gary, and Jaden, we went on a road trip last summer. We drove all the way to Oregon and back.
Oregon?
Yeah, there was a big Olympic level track meet right before what's it called?
The pre-fit.
Yeah, the U.S. Olympic trials.
Oh, okay.
So it was like one of the last big meets. So a bunch of American names were there competing.
Yeah, it's called the Prefontaine Classic.
Okay.
So we went there to go watch. We wanted to go watch the race, so we had bought tickets, and we're like, well, it's too expensive to fly there and back.
Yeah.
They did a whole road trip.
So we drove. It saved like $3,000 instead of flying. So we drove instead, and we took the brick literally across the country.
They have so many pictures of like anywhere they stopped. Like they would text me a picture. They were like, "Look where the brick is."
We went to the Arch. We went to Mount Rushmore, and then we took it to the meet. We got it inside the stadium.
They snuck it into the
We got
stadium.
it signed by, I can't even, 3 or 4.
I want to say 4
Olympic medalists, and then one guy won gold. I mean, there's just like almost everybody that signed the brick holds a world record, or like
so that's
a national
why it's really
record.
valuable.
Okay, well that makes sense then.
That's why Jaden like absolutely freaked me out this weekend. I was like, there's no way I just lost this because Walker didn't compete this weekend. So he was like, okay, you take the brick, and I was like, oh my gosh. I like guarded it with my life all day long, and then there was one moment I gave it to Jaden. He was like, you have it, right? And I was like, no.
Yeah,
That's
so
interesting
that
story.
thing's definitely worth. I don't know the price that it's worth.
He almost made me cry because I was like, "There's no way we just lost this."
Definitely, definitely 5 figures for sure.
Yeah.
That's wild. Another question I have for y'all: who is your guys' favorite music artist currently or all time?
For me, I really like Benson Boone.
Benson Boone.
Yeah, and
Is he
then
like a country artist.
no, he's like, I don't know how to
It's
say.
pop.
Yeah, he's like pop.
Kind of not.
Yeah, I don't know, he's like pop, but not really.
Okay.
And he kind of gives off like beach vibes almost at the same time. I also like Surfaces. It's a band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big Zach Bryan guy.
Facts.
Big. I like
I love country music.
Morgan Wallen. Used to like a lot, but he just needs more music out. But I like him. I mean, I'll listen to anything really. I like most country.
He doesn't have favorites.
I feel like an underrated country artist is Bailey Zimmerman. I really mess with his music.
Yeah, I like Bailey's
good. I like a lot. I like more now the edgy side of country. The guys that sound a little more like Zach Bryan, but sound more like a country rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then outside of them, though, I listen to a ridiculous amount of Metallica and Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, and Linkin Park too.
I remember you telling me that.
Those 4 are like definitely who I listen to the most. But
I only listen to those on race day.
My next question is: if you guys can travel anywhere in the world, where y'all traveling to?
Italy.
Italy?
Yeah. It's so easy for me because my last name is a city in Italy.
Oh, real?
Yeah.
Our like families from that city.
Yeah.
They like started that city.
Oh, wow.
And so I've always wanted to go see it in person.
The city of
Caccamo.
Caccamo.
Yeah.
That's tough. How about you, Walk?
I think I said Italy last time.
Yeah, I think you said Italy because it was he was reverting back to you.
Yeah.
And that's when you started talking about like your family's food
all
and
the
stuff
good
like that.
food.
We talk about that a lot because, I mean, that's just a place that like we would want to go to.
Yeah.
So
It'd be a lot of fun.
there's just so much to do there, especially because it's like so centrally located. There's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you just take a train ride or right up to any other European country.
Or rent a Vespa.
No, I'm not. I'm not riding on a stupid scooter. I'll walk.
They're so cute though.
If you guys are going to a gas station for snacks, what 3 things y'all walking out with?
Okay. I mean, we've taken a good amount of road trips, like to go see friends at like different colleges before, and always a candy, chip, and a drink.
Facts.
It's always one of those. For me, the hardest part is the candy because I love every candy and I want to like buy everything.
Mm-hmm.
So my go-to candy is hot tamales.
Hot tamales?
Yeah, it's like a cinnamon candy.
That's a first. That's a first. I know what those are.
Oh, okay.
That's a first, though.
Yeah,
I heard that one on pod,
and
yeah.
I know it's probably going to get banned soon because...
Oh, the red dye. Yeah, I heard about that.
So I'm going to have to find a new favorite candy, but I love Reese's. Those are also my favorite. And the blue Gator Light, that's always a good drink to take. Or some kind of like blue raspberry slushy.
Oh, okay.
I like blue raspberry stuff. And a chip, probably ranch Pringles.
Okay, that's solid.
Yeah. I'm a big beef jerky guy.
Yeah.
Love some beef jerky, preferably the like spicy beef jerky, the one with pepper flakes on it.
That one's
and
good.
Then I said this, and I totally didn't think about it. I was gonna go get the candy I told you last time, so you can try it. The Reese's Sticks.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
they're
told me about
so
that.
good.
I've never seen them before.
That is
It's
my
kind of like-
favorite.
It's kind of like a Nutter Butter, like you know how it has like all those different like layers of like waffle and then like filling.
Yeah.
It's like that, but Reese's flavored.
It's like Butterfinger meets Kit Kat meets Reese's.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a combination.
it's really
Yeah,
good.
it's got wafer. It's like wafer peanut butter covered in chocolate.
Yeah, that's like how Nutter Butter is.
No, Nutter Butter's the cookie with peanut butter inside.
Yeah, you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, though.
Oh my
I
gosh,
know what you're talking
yes. The
I don't know what it's called, though.
Is it like?
I don't know what it's
Nutty
called, but
Buddy?
I know. Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Nutty Buddy? Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
I have never.
Yeah.
Heard
I know what she's talking
Not
about, though.
not Nutter Butter.
I was gonna say that's a cookie.
No, not that one.
And then drink. I'm big on Body Armor. Those are
Facts.
just good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? Oh no, you were saying orange last time, weren't you?
No, blue
Yes.
raspberry.
Oh heck no.
The blue
bro.
raspberry's good. I don't like the orange mango.
Nah, facts. I like my favorite flavor is strawberry banana. That's the all-time
That,
favorite.
Really?
that one's
Yeah,
good.
That's the good. That's the
I
That's like the first one I ever tried of Body Armor, and I don't know. I just never tried it again. I don't know if I didn't like it or what, but
You gotta
blue
try it.
raspberry is just all-time favorite.
Blue raspberry or gold berry or cherry lime. Those three.
Cherry lime's pretty good.
If you got us stranded on an island, what 3 things I'm making sure I got with you?
Oh.
This question be giving everybody.
I still laugh when you after listening because after I was on here, I went and re-listened to the podcast with Draylon, and he said all that crap about the phone and his
You see
PlayStation.
Draylen's up, bro. Yo, Draylon said he was bringing his iPhone charger, and his AirPods.
Okay, but where's he gonna plug it in?
I don't
That's
know.
what we said.
I don't know.
shit.
I,
I don't even know. I'm like trying to think practical, but I don't know.
you definitely bring a book.
I would, yes, I would bring a book.
Mhm.
Probably, if I got stranded like right now, probably a book that I'm reading currently. Let's see. You said 3 things?
3 things.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot.
I just don't know.
usually people be like, that's too little. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, man, gonna have 3
No.
things.
Book to keep me occupied.
Okay.
A ship to get off.
A ship.
Yeah, a
Okay.
ship to get off.
You have to find how to work it, but hey, a ship.
And a manual for the ship.
I don't want to give the same answer I did last time, so I think I was more serious. I think I was talking about tools and whatever about
Oh
how
my
to
gosh.
survive.
Look,
Yeah.
I didn't have so many mixed opinions on this question. I had somebody say a phone. I had somebody say like a spark to like make
Oh, a
fire.
flare?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a flare. And I had somebody say
Yeah.
Meg Thee Stallion. So trust
Megan
me.
Thee- oh my gosh, that's
Any-
crazy.
Any answer is not a wrong answer.
Probably I'd want to enjoy myself if I was on an island because I'm tired. I just want to go have fun right now. So
Yeah.
probably
You ready to retire?
yes and no. Not yet. A fishing pole,
Okay.
some beer, and probably
A hammock?
no
No?
beer, fishing pole, and a speaker.
A speaker.
Yeah, a speaker to listen to
Yeah.
some music. I could live off of that.
No, that's real. Well, I appreciate y'all for coming on the pod. But last thing, I started this at Shell. I started like in the cabin though, my Voyagers, and then
Yeah.
hopefully I was trying to get it spread out, but we didn't have enough time.
That's
we had
okay.
some
Oh,
some
yes.
difficult moments on
We
the
had
on
some
the yeah. So
interesting times.
so what I used to tell my Voyagers was, let's be great today before we left the cabin or whatever. So can I get let's be great today from y'all? If y'all need to count down, y'all just let me, of course.
Okay.
All right, bet 3, 2, 1.
Let's be great today.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate y'all for coming on. Well, that is the end of the Bella Caccamo
Good
and Walker Capelle episode. But y'all stay tuned Wednesday because I have Piedmont men's basketball player Israel Hall coming on the pod. And like I always say, man, let's be great today. And y'all stay blessed.